It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day, and it's Sunday Fun Day. You may have noticed that there was no video yesterday. Sorry about that, but the day before, Greg and I had gone to KRC in San Marcos and loaded up the truck with 2 yards of soil. I got 36 1.5 foot minus boulders, a combo of red, burgundy lava, black lava, and pot rock. Then I also got a couple of those beautiful turquoise boulders and some pink ice and, some fiberglass and a couple other fun things. And so Greg was not available yesterday to help me in the garden, so I couldn't help it. I wanted to take you on, the step-by-step journey of putting this thing together. And as you can see, there's still lots and lots and lots to do. But yesterday, I took the day for me, and I knocked this out. So I didn't really know what this garden was going to be. The Tongaensis was a gift from Robert at Planter Paradise, so I knew that this was going to be the focal point in the garden. Beyond that, I didn't really know what flavor or exactly what I was going to do. And when I got to the rock yard and I saw the beautiful pot rocks and they had the lava boulders, which they don't always have, I knew then and there that this was going to be an undersea garden. And that excited me no end because I've never been able to do an undersea garden for myself before. So I just had the best time, you guys. Yesterday there were so many points where I was going to stop and film, and I just couldn't do it. I didn't stop. Started at about 7 o'clock yesterday morning, and finally came in last night at about the same time in the evening. And I will tell you that after moving in, the 2 yards of soil and creating, with an undersea garden, it's not so much about mounds as it is about creating shelves in the landscape. You want, to be coral reef-like. I'm sorry, I'm so distracted by all these gnats. The gnats are attracted to the amended topsoil. And until I get my top dressing on here, we're going to have to eat them for dinner. But at any rate, you can see how I have created ledges and shelves. And I've also done some really fun things with, cutouts, and, I've dug back underneath rocks in various places so that I can tuck plants, I can tuck glass. I'm going to get some different colored glass. I've already got started with some glass in a couple of places. And, as I was putting this together too, it occurred to me that it's going to be better, rather than doing subterranean drip on this, I think it's going to be better just to go with the spray. This isn't going to require much water, and to try and navigate all of that subterranean drip line through all of these nooks and crannies and shelves and ledges just seems really, really daunting and frankly unnecessary. So we're going to go back to plan A, which is to just, activate the spray, make sure that when we do turn it on, everything gets hit. I won't be using it for as long as I'm here, but I want it to be operational and efficient in the event that I'm not. So I worked in all the plants that you see here, with the exception of the Tongaensis, were plants that I brought over from my garden. So you probably recognize this cast of characters here. Remember the shell that was, how many times have I worked this over in a video? This was in the front yard, in the courtyard next to my front door. Worked that in. Packed in all of my agavoides. This is a look that I created for my clients in University City for their undersea garden, and I really loved it. I even pulled some of my little collectibles in from some of my little special pots. I'm going to be heading over to Waterwise Botanicals either tomorrow or the next day to grab some more things too. But I'm just thrilled with the progress that I am making so far. Look, this is the Mangave. Elaine, you will be very, very happy to see that the kaleidoscope is like 100%. When I took this out of the can that I had popped it in a couple of weeks ago after we treated it with the bare tree and shrub, it had already thrown off a lot of baby roots, and it's just absolutely restored. We've got the little, I went with the coin plant and some different types of spillers instead of the portulacaria that I always use. I really, really wanted to mix it up. This is the only pot that I incorporated into this installation because to me it does look very, very theme appropriate for the coral reef. I did pull my blue balls in, and this is where the third R really comes into play: rocks, repetition, and restraint. I don't want this to look like a garage sale, so I resisted the temptation to bring in, hey, it's Hannah Margaret. What you doing?
I'm cleaning out the front for you.
Oh, we'll have to go take a look and see what Hannah Margaret's doing out front, the area that I said I wasn't going to mess with. Well, but look, I created a little pathway through here. How fun is that? And then this area where you see dirt now, this is going to be done in flagstone. And this Adirondack chair I've staged here just for funsies. I don't know, if it'll stay. I think it probably will, because remember what I'm always telling you, that sitting in a garden, it's a completely different garden. It's a different perspective. And this feels good here. I can't, really see a whole lot of the golf course from this perspective, but I can see the front, I can see my house, and most importantly, I can see my garden, which of course is a 360-degree presentation. You can see here that the Gayei got really sunburnt, but you know what, guys? I don't care. I love it. It's perfectly healthy. This is just cosmetic. And every time I look at this plant now, I will remember our move to Vista. And I'll be able to date it by knowing, oh yeah, that sunburn, that's when we moved to Vista. So it's kind of like the ring, counting rings on a tree. Oh my gosh, Greg, look. This agave, this just happened. This plant was sitting over in my foster garden in Chula Vista, never moved, never grew, never did anything, and look, it's starting to unfurl. It's as though it's saying, I am so happy to be here. Oh my goodness. So I'm not done, obviously. I'm not going to be doing any weed barrier fabric in this garden. I am going to be applying copious amounts of Roundup in the pathway areas though, because there was a tremendous amount of grass, and that, not nut grass though, which is the devil's grass, but just Bermuda. Not too worried about it. In a garden this small, and as OCD as I am, coming out here and pulling the occasional weed, not a problem. But I do want to hit all of the edges. And, I might put some, I don't know, we'll see. I don't know. I don't think we'll put down, see, because if we put down fabric, we would have to dig this out. To put the fabric down, then we'd have to put a DG base on it, then we'd have to put the stones on that, and it just seems like way too much work. So I'm not going to do that. And you would never know it, but I actually also tore into the hedge. Megan, don't be mad. I am not going to touch the height at all. I will keep it tall and all, but what I did do, and I've got a trash can, if you can believe it, full of this, is I went inside and I cut some of the branches from the middle where it's really, really thick and dense. This thing has been shorn into submission for probably over 30 years. And I just want, I still want, obviously we want to maintain the privacy and all, but I do want it to look a little more open and less like a caboose. So I'm going to keep working on the hedge and airing this out a bit. And I think that when I'm completed with that, I will actually be happy. There's still so much work to do, guys. This big area in the back. Again, I don't know, what I'm doing yet. Will it be a continuation of the Under the Sea? Will it be a more traditional tapestry? Will I take and pull pots in up here? Will I incorporate some beautiful driftwood? What will she do? That is a really, really good question. I will tell you that over here, remember we talked about putting in artificial turf and then doing a little playhouse for the kids? We've had second thoughts about that and decided that we aren't doing that. We're going to go ahead and build this part out as garden space as well. And this is basically what that looked like yesterday morning. So we're going to do more, I will balance the two sides. I will do the undersea theme over on this side as well. This area right here will have flagstone that will lead to the gate back in the back. And I'll probably have Bentley do his business on the flagstone pad. It's not that different from his little patch of fake grass over in the other garden. And he does get a really, really long walk every morning where he does most of his business anyway. So I think that'll probably be Bentley's area. Still have so much to do, but let's go around front and take a look at what Hannah Margaret's up to. Okay, so this is what Hannah has done. I wanted to eliminate all this asparagus fern and this juniper and just open up this corner right here so that I can finish planting around the fountain, which now you can see is a little cockeyed too. We need to just level it a little bit. But my big agave attenuata, I'm just concerned I need to get that girl in the ground, and I wanted to plant her like at the other house. Remember, she was right next to the fountain. So I want to plant her right in here somewhere. So when Hannah gets, look at that. She is such a stud. She's not even got any gloves on. And you're in Crocs and short shorts.
Sponsor me.
Oh my goodness, this poor girl. So the idea is that once all of this comes out, I will bring in some soil and stage some boulders and, just finish this with succulents. I'm really back and forth with this area here. I had thought, well, maybe, I'll just do some undulating and stage some really beautiful pots with some tall cactus specimens. Then I'm like, no, I want Greg to, build me a freestanding structure that I can do alloy gutters on. Then I'm like, no, maybe we should just do a piece of art here and just do tapestry. So I still don't know. TBD. But yeah, we aren't going to do anything with Big Ugly over here. He stays, although I will say, cautionary tale, his roots are all the way over here, pressed against the side of the house. So that's slightly terrifying, but whatever. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with the agapanthus or Big Ugly or the lawn or any of that. But I did want to get this little area next to the front door contained. So that is your Sunday fun day. I hope that you all are having a blast in your garden and gaining some inspiration from what I'm doing in mine. And just remember, the takeaway is don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't get analysis paralysis. Just dive in and start designing, and know that these plants are like plastic. And if you don't like it where you put it, you can always move it someplace else. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity. I don't think anybody is ever going to have more fun than Hannah right now. And your succulent tip of the day. Bye, guys.